The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and our freedoms. Good morning. I'm Paige Clarke.
A beautiful day in downtown St. Petersburg. It is 57 degrees and mostly clear.
I like it when it's a little cooler.
Yes.
You got that coffee on your nose.
Coffee on my nose. Yeah, well, it's these...
We have to sneak that good coffee in the morning because it's bright and early where we are.
We do indeed.
Yeah, so make sure you pick up our Health Signals newsletter. This is a newsletter that is news you can use to keep yourself and your family healthy.
Yeah, and of course we're following the show here, so the last 2 weeks, this week and last week, will be into the newsletter, all the articles we talk about. And of course we want you right now to pay attention to the Primal Edge, our over 310 organic cell-ready ingredients. You know, it's liquid ingredients, easy to take, but the most important thing, it's powered by
fulvic and humic acid, nature's miracle molecule, which helps you get the good stuff in
and the bad stuff out. And really important during this time, because we're going to be talking about the coronavirus a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, but I think we need to continue and give an update.
I do too, but I want to mention the Primal Edge because we're going to have a sale on this starting February 1st, and it's going to be $25 off that first bottle when you subscribe.
Wait till
the first of the month, and that'll be Saturday, I guess it is, and you know, get onto it because
maybe get someone you love on it too.
Now, why is fulvic and humic so powerful and so important now because of this virus coming out?
Well, because fulvic and humic is it works. It's a very intelligent substance in that it attracts positively charged molecules and gives us a net negative charge.
Right.
And so what it really does is it seeks out viruses, binds them, and helps your body remove them.
Exactly, and that's why we're taking it.
Good stuff.
We want to talk about the virus. Of course, the number here is 877-927-6648 if you'd like to join the conversation, but there's a little timeline I have. I guess it started like January 21st with, they say, 6 deaths in China. And they've got a timeline here, which I will put in the newsletter. At the end of the day of January 22nd, there were already 561 cases, 17 deaths already. At the end of the day now...
kind of going on. Yeah, where are we? Like the 28th today?
Well, now we have thousands of people. And I was listening.
And we've gotten a few cases in the U.S.
Yeah,
New
I
York.
think 3 or 4 now. A couple in Britain, Australia.
People traveling from China. They said Canada and Vancouver because of that big Chinese
And so
connection.
far, everybody who's got infected actually came from China. In other words, was there during this beginning
so maybe it's kind of launched there. But let's talk about Nico.
Well, one of the things that disturbs me about it, of course, is that they say it's up to 2 weeks before you have symptoms, but you can contract it from other people during that time. So before you show symptoms, it can be 2 weeks. So if these people are coming in the United States and they have it, they might have had it for 2 weeks
Well,
already.
Of course, you talk about the 2 weeks. Perfect example when we talk about using a multi-nutrient, multi-mineral, multi-amino acids, like the Primal Edge that has fulvic and humic. You've got those molecules working to
get rid of that stuff
bind the virus. So what happens, 2 weeks is like an inoculation period. It's where a virus is saying, is this body a good host for me or not?
Yes, because...
And if it's a good host, it doesn't have something sopping up.
Right, so all the people have died so far have relatively been elderly or sick already in some manner or just weak.
Yeah, we've got a note from Al there. I don't know if you can adjust that.
Wrong screen. Yeah, I don't know either.
But the case is, let's talk a little bit about, many of you might have been hearing about the coronavirus, but, you know, how would you know if you had the coronavirus? And we're going to talk about 14 cold-like symptoms of the coronavirus because coronavirus is a contagious virus that causes symptoms similar to the common cold. Most people get a coronavirus at some point in their life, but their body usually recovers within a short period of time, and it may not feel actually different to get the coronavirus as having a common cold or the flu, and they may never even know it is a coronavirus and not just the standard rhinovirus.
Well, there is no way of knowing, that's for sure.
Yeah, the symptoms are very similar to the common cold.
So if I have some sniffles right now, I could be symptomatic of that or something else. I don't know.
For all we know, all this junk that people have had that's colds all through January and December we've seen, maybe that was it. But
point.
the media will also, is really jumping on the hyping of this. Of course, we have to be cautious, but we also have to know there's a lot in the power of fear, a lot of money in the power of fear.
Yeah.
The way to prevent the coronavirus is not unlike any other virus or cold, because you want to stop it from taking hold in the body. Like I mentioned, something like the Primal Edge, which has the ability to bind the positively charged viral particles. And it will help you with the coronavirus or any common cold or flu.
Yeah, so the next symptom is clogged sinuses. And I mean, you
Well, the first one is runny nose.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned that already.
No, I hadn't done that.
Yeah, first one is the runny nose, and everybody can have a runny nose. All these symptoms that we're going to be mentioning here are really something else that could happen too.
Well, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that fortify your fortress against any cold or flu, whether it be corona or rhinovirus. The runny nose is a sign that the body is beginning to build up a mucus to, guess what? Trap viral particles.
Right, and the body will start the heat process. The heat kills these things, and so the body wants to get rid of it. Of course, if the body goes too high, you're in big trouble, and that's the problem with these things.
Yeah, it's really until the infection of the viral or bacterial infection goes away, the runny nose is likely to continue, and that's good, guys. It's a protection. It's a dry nose that is really at risk. There's no mucus to help trap irritants. You see?
Good point.
So the second one, of course,
Second one is the clogged sinuses. That can be a sign. Just like colds, nasal passages can become inflamed. That means there's more sinus pressure and less room for the air to move through.
Yeah.
Expanding of these nasal passages due to inflammation is exactly why your nose feels clogged, even if it's not clogged.
Right.
Yeah, I hate that feeling too. That it feels like it's clogged, but you're still breathing. You know it's going to get worse, it seems like.
Yeah, and really what happens is the sinus cavities are actually empty cavities. So when the mucous membranes of the sinus swell, it decreases that area and you have that clogged feeling. So if you can decrease the swelling through anti-inflammatories, then the sinus pressure...
So ibuprofen in this case would be a good thing because it's anti-inflammatory.
Well, there's other natural anti-inflammatories that might be preferable to ibuprofen,
true
the over-the-counter. And many people just find that using mentholated things will help.
Right. Now, another sign is just getting a headache.
And that's a sign of sinus pressure many times. Yeah, and dehydration or the body trying to detox the positively charged, particles. And boy, headaches aren't fun, because it's when the tissue becomes inflamed in the nasal passages. It feels as if your nose is clogged up, and then your head gets inflamed. So it's all that stuff. We'll continue because I think it's important to realize that although we're concerned about this outbreak, let's talk about what it is. We'll be right back after this break.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Chart. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. And we're talking about the coronavirus. Of course, I think
virus, you know,
I've been thinking maybe the Mexicans were behind this. The Corona beer.
Yeah,
I mean, the biggest advertising in the world here.
Well, haven't we had
maybe that's the best thing to have right now.
The
Have a
Democratic
Corona.
Party's been wanting to flood our country with a lot of people from Mexico, maybe coming in and bringing stuff.
Maybe
It's
so.
Mexican. You know, it might have all been a plan, guys. Coughing is something else that happens with certain viruses. And why, you know, with the coronavirus, coughing may or may not be a symptom. That's because the coronavirus comes in many different varieties and not all of them affect the respiratory system. That's important. Many viruses affect the digestive system. So as for treating the cough, you do it the same way that you would any other way. It's not, what I'm trying to drive home is that we don't have to think this is some kind of different animal necessarily. It's a virus that is only going to take place if we have an environment that's a good host for it.
I agree. And the symptoms are very similar to all these other things. Remember, it's not the coronavirus that's going to kill you. It's the pneumonia you get from it.
Same thing with cancer. It's not the cancer that kills people. It's the treatments.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
In this case, it might not be the treatment, but it certainly will be the pneumonia that you get from it, similar to SARS.
A bacterial infection on the other side. But let's talk about fever, because this is always something that drives me crazy. People, you know, parents go, oh my God, my child has a fever. You should say, thank God, my child has a fever.
That's
the
right.
fever is the way the body raises the body temperature to fight viruses. Heat actually eradicates viruses. And what you want to do is make sure it doesn't get too hot. The best way to do that is stick them in a bathtub.
Yeah. There's another thing, too. You know, there's a natural process that takes place, and the animals know it. So if you have a pet that's ill, you know what they're going to do. They're going to go into a corner, they're going to be alone, and they're not going to eat for a long period of time.
Watch what animals do. You and I have always said that.
Yeah.
They stop eating, they fast.
Right.
You know,
Right.
starve a fever, feed a cold. Starve a fever, let the body is mounting an attack.
Right. Right.
Don't throw out food, because the food is the worst thing that comes in your body.
Yeah, because now your body is going to be busy doing the food instead of taking care of the fever.
You got it. And
So-
the feeling of being sick is one of the symptoms, obviously. You just don't feel well. Part of that feeling of fatigue, cold, flu, body aches, these are all signs that the body is really asking you to shut down, rest, and heal.
Yeah, and it's an important symptom to be aware of when it comes to deciding whether this is a regular cold or this type of virus. In any case, the recipe is relief is to sleep, drinks lots of fluid. If you want to take a little suppressant of some kind, you can do that. I don't think it's really necessary, but it may help you feel a little bit better during the process. So.
Yeah, number 7 is feeling weak, and the reason you feel fatigued or weak is and unable to do stuff is that your body is concentrating on trying to get rid of the illness. It's mounting an attack. That fever was to raise that, to generate white blood cells. So embrace that fever. Obviously, if you have a child and you get above 105, 106, you want to make sure you're lowering it, be in touch, possibly some lowering. Use homeopathic remedies. As we know, it may actually be dangerous with Reye's syndrome to give people aspirin if you're a child, because that can actually cause a cytokine storm.
Yeah, any of these symptoms you should probably now, and normally I wouldn't recommend this if a cold was coming on, or even if you had the flu, is to stay home during things like this.
Very smart. Stay home.
Yeah, even
and
if
rest.
you think it might be just a cold, fine, stay home, get some rest. You know, the problem is that this is a big distraction because it's a money thing too. You know, the markets went down because of this, of course. And so they're going to be looking at this. And then, of course, if you're on an income where maybe you need to work to get that money, so Friday you have food, that's a big pull. Now you're going to go to work, you know. So people who, and this is why I really want people to understand that, you know, when I say I don't like this capitalistic system, because this capitalistic system is 100 to 1 shot. In other words, there can be 100 people against this one person. That's what money does. And if a person has to go to work and be sick just to survive, that's not a good society, and that's the society we have here. So I think everybody should have that ability to stay home for a couple of weeks if they need to, and be forgiven that. And this is where sick pay comes in. The employer should pay this because we want a society that's healthy. We don't want people to be strapped. And being financially strapped is just as bad as something like this. It may not kill you.
Actually, if we could ever get to a point where our actual tax dollars go to helping the people instead of paying back the IRS, which is not really a legal organization.
When I say money distributed to people, it has to be equal. In other words, in the old days, the commons, the British always spoke of the commons, and the people were given the commons. That means all roads are free. You can, you know, you can travel.
Right.
You shouldn't be hindered to travel in and out of the country and be held hostage.
Right.
Those are the types of things that are not fair in these countries that are, whether they're democracy or whether they're capitalism or whether it's communism, they're all doing the same things. They're restricting our movement, and they're giving us no choice but to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So let's go on. My rant is over.
Yeah, well, and I hear what you're saying, and
Well, respiratory illnesses, here we go. This is pretty much covers everything that we talked about when you have
it really
a cold.
used to be an issue when you get to a bacterial infection, you know, but
So when you say respiratory illness, you're talking about some kind of infection in the lungs, right?
infection or inflammation.
In the lungs, right?
And what do we know from Chinese medicine? We've talked about this. What the lung is the backup organ for what system?
The lymphatic system?
Large intestine.
Large, oh, okay.
So many times if our body is not able to get rid of positively charged or bad bacteria, which might have come in where? From the food system, that then escapes the lining of the body and gets out in the body. Lung is the backup organ for the large intestine.
To try to get rid of the stuff.
So, and the skin.
So that means you're really compromised now when that happens.
Exactly.
So your digestive system pretty much has shut down in a sense and transferred all the stuff into the mucous membranes.
It's saying I can't get rid of this stuff, right?
Yeah, wow. Okay,
So
good.
number 9 is chills. Okay, so what's happening with the chills? While coronavirus infection in adults is typically mild, the severe form of the disease, such as MERS and SARS, can produce intense symptoms of fever and sweating.
So
What does that tell you guys? Intense symptoms of fever and sweating. The body is really working hard to fight it off.
Yeah,
And then we do dumb things like try to suppress the fever.
That's true. When the brain detects the virus entering the body, it signals the production of pyrogen proteins to increase the body's temperature. These proteins attach to the nerve endings and signal the CSN to turn up the heat and giving the virus nowhere to run.
Right, yeah, and you may start to notice you feel chills, but kind of realize that's part of the healing process. And it takes a while for the body to get a new body temperature, but it's important that it have the ability to raise the temperature to mount the attack.
And you just want it to go through that natural
How about
process.
symptoms in children? And this is where we all get concerned about high fevers, and rightfully so.
And children naturally have a more tolerant level than we do.
Well, they can get a higher temperature, but there's also a risk, and that's why parents are terrified. Oh my God, my child's running a fever.
Right,
I'm
because
like,
the meningitis can go into the ear. And
well, that's a specific bug, so to speak. But the whole point is that convulsions from that. Why would we be worried with a kid? Because they still have an immature immune system. So the question is, did the fever go so high and it's not being successful? So many times a nice tepid bath and some lavender will help get the temperature down just a few points, but
Just
still
enough.
keep it elevated enough so it can fight.
So you don't want to bring it down too much. You want to bring it just enough so you survive that part.
And here to say symptoms of the coronavirus infection are much more pronounced in children, and they may experience higher fevers in an exasperation for the symptoms such as flushed cheeks, etc. But remember, the fevers are there to help fight it.
Okay, we got a couple more symptoms coming up, so during the break, please go to the Primal Edge and take a look at that and get ready to get that on the first of the month because it's $25 off that first bottle. And the other thing is, if you want an extra bottle, we're going to allow you to get that extra bottle if you're on a subscription already, so that's a good thing. We'll be right
Be right
back.
back.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Talking about symptoms that you might be exposed to coronavirus or any other virus for that point, and Bodie made a comment in the chat room. I saw these videos of people dry fasting for 10 to 11 days. They didn't look well. Maybe it helped in the long run. I think that's a really good picture. We'd love to see these pictures after they finish their fast. Kind of like, I got to clean up my garage. It's pretty messy. You know, in the process of cleaning up my garage, it's going to look like a tornado hit it, right? I'm moving things, and then you get everything organized again. That's the way the body is. You know, it's a little rough cleansing We store a lot of things that are not good for us. Our body's very protective of our vital organs, and many times when we are actually ridding ourselves of these things, we don't always look well. But if you're eating a big saber-tooth steak like the Flintstones, when you're sick, your body has to go and say, oh my gosh, incoming, a huge piece of meat, was there bacteria at the store, did we get it? The immune system goes on alert for every meal you eat. It's the biggest contagion to the body.
Yeah.
And then when we're sick, then that sequesters all the fighting ability to digesting your food. That's why fasting, when you're not well, can actually be a great way to clean up the body. And it's been proven to be quite anti-aging as we clean up.
Yeah, and as we hear from Dr. Sinclair, that if you fast on a regular basis, and it can be a short 18 hours or even less than that a lot of times.
The intermittent fasting is productive, it's cumulative.
Yeah, and I've been doing this now. I pick my Fridays as my fasting day where I don't have breakfast. I eat Thursday around 4 o'clock, so I've got a long stretch till 4 o'clock in Friday afternoon. So that's a pretty good stretch of not having to eat. I have some coffee, but I do feel energetic during it. It's amazing because your body's not busy anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So it's concentrating on living, and it's a good thing.
It's exactly, but you know, to wrap this up, we're talking about the swollen lymph nodes, which is the second circulatory system of the body. Very important in fighting infection. And you know, you can talk about when we get sick, you know?
Yeah, our lymph nodes size to the size of peas. Mine go bigger, I think.
Well, when they're fighting something.
Yeah, they get really big, and it's a sign that the body's dealing with infection. There's nothing to cause an alarm in the patients. In most cases, a patient will notice the lymph nodes reduce and turn to normal size a few days after the infection subsides.
Yeah, it really, again, it's another beautiful sign that the body is responding appropriately and it's mounting a defense. Yeah. You know, don't be concerned other than the fact that you are, in fact, fighting an infection. So let's highlight the types of coronavirus.
Yeah, because there's, I think, 4 different kinds.
Okay, so, you know, they've got acronym soup, but basically it's the beta coronavirus HKU1, the alpha coronavirus 229E, and the NL63 alpha coronavirus. And these 4 coronaviruses are responsible for 99% or more of all infections worldwide.
Something happened to my
Did you hear that, though?
Yeah.
99%. So are we actually making a bigger deal? This is already out there. However, in the Middle East and Asia, there are 2 deadly forms of the disease. Both of these coronaviruses take lives, and once infected, there's a high mortality rate. So with these 2 forms that have been showing up, and now we're concerned that maybe these deadlier versions have made way in the U.S. through New York and the Canada, Vancouver area, severe acute respiratory symptoms, or the SARS-CoV virus, is the coronavirus responsible for the 2002-2003 SARS outbreak. There were over 8,000 confirmed cases. 8,000.
Yeah. And about 10% of those people died.
Yeah, very. And
it looks like this is on now. It's confusing because the officials in China were saying, okay, there's 51 people dead and 48 people survived. So that means the other thousands are still sick.
Yeah.
And it's not over for them. But that's a pretty big rate if some are cured and some, I mean, the cure and the dying is about the same. That's not good.
Yeah, it says that the MERS, so we were talking about SARS, and then MERS, the other one, has about a 30 to 40% mortality rate. So let's talk again about who are the ones that succumb to these viruses. It's the environment. If I plant flowers in my garden and you plant flowers in your garden, and my soil has been maintained to be healthy, I have a healthy soil with all the right microbes.
Fulvic and humic acid.
And I have fulvic and humic acid, then my plants are going to flourish. However, if I have a dehydrated, out of balance with the minerals soil, then the plants are not going to thrive.
Yeah,
and then guess what's going to happen?
It's going to get some kind of disease or something.
Yeah,
We're going to blame the disease.
And the bugs are going to come.
You're right, yeah.
Because the bugs say, oh my gosh, those plants are bad. We need to eliminate them. I mean, nature is so brilliant. When you see bugs on your plants, that is not a healthy plant. You need to look at the soil and not the plant.
The other side is bugs love large things. So if you plant too many, the bugs see, oh, whoa, we better get rid of some of these.
We're getting out of balance.
Yep.
Yeah, their nature is balance. So what we're all about is health begins in the soil, and why we believe so powerfully, why when we decided we needed to have a kind of a core product to support our show and to be really beneficial to our people, we chose fulvic and humic because fulvic and humic is a full mineral spectrum, full amino acid, and has natural chelators that help your body do everything you need. So many people, the research is rather astounding on fulvic and humic in helping us fight viruses and bacteria and even diseases such as cancer. We've seen improvements. Or, you know, people no longer have these diseases after a while. These are important things to know, and you have to do your own research.
And if you feel the first symptoms of any of these things that we talked about, that's the time to double up on that Primal Edge. And that's the time to maybe do a fast and maybe stay indoors for a while and cocoon yourself and watch some of those programs you've been missing.
And so I know we've kind of beat this, but this is important. Complications. What could be the complications of the coronavirus? Patients with coronaviruses typically experience mild symptoms and have no difficulties with the condition. However, young children and the elderly or people with compromised immune systems are over 75% of the issues, and over 70% of the immune system resides where?
In the intestines.
In the digestive system.
Yeah.
Remember what I said, that the lung or the respiratory system is the backup large intestine. So if you're not digesting and you're not disinfecting, and that starts early up in the stomach, then you're going to have a compromised large intestine, and then it's going to say, hey, I need the lungs and the skin to help out.
That's right, and as a result, it takes infants and young children to develop a robust immune system. It takes them a little while, so while they're young, the immune system kind of is not quite as resistant in a sense. So they need a little bit of help, and they need your help.
So the worst complication of a coronavirus involving, say, SARS or MERS, the two deadly strains, are where patients can develop life-threatening symptoms of cardiac failure and respiratory arrest. And these are the ones, and particularly you're going to see this in the elderly, again, with the compromised soil, compromised environment. And that's why we want to work on that. So what are some prevention and treatment tips, Nico?
Yeah, there's no cure for this. They said it might be up to 3 months before they get a virus or a injection thing. A vaccine.
Oh, of course. We're going to talk about, go ahead.
So, you know, that's another possibility that might compromise our health even further in some cases.
Yeah, what's really going on with that vaccine? And, you know, I have to say this because I feel powerfully, but I saw this on Twitter. A comment was made, and I believe this. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation predicted the coronavirus could kill 65 million people. And that was 3 months ago. The foundation also funded the institute that patented the virus. So a known eugenicist is funding lab-created diseases he thinks can kill millions of people? Question mark?
And there are 3 labs.
And he funds them.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't fund all of them, but he funds one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks, and we'll wrap this up. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back.
So in summary, the coronavirus, very much like the common cold, is really not a big cause for concern unless we're talking about the two more serious strains of MERS and SARS, and that becomes an issue if you are a compromised immune person. The best medical staff, or any of us can do, is to help prevent spread of the infection.
Right.
And treatment for it really involves rest and hydration, allow the body to heal, and staying away from others so you don't spread the love. And, you can tighten up your own hygiene, wash your hands, washing your hands and avoiding sharing drinks, and using protective hygiene equipment, such as masks when you're in crowded areas or in airports and that kind of a thing. Don't be afraid to do that. There is a lot of exposure, and the air is stale, and people all stay together in those places, so I think that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I was, over the weekend, I had plenty of time to look at YouTube and see some of the people who were in Wuhan and talking about that. They were shut in, no electricity, no gasoline, people were restricted to their homes. If you had symptoms, you couldn't go to the hospital because they were all filled up, so good luck.
Right.
So there were basically, these people felt like, they were shut in. I mean, prisoners in their own thing. They shut down about 15 cities. But when I looked at the aircraft coming out of China, they're still flying out of those cities.
Right.
So what is a lockdown? I don't understand. I know they're checking people with a thermostat kind of thing. So
Are they
getting
checking
the temperature,
checking the temperature?
I mean, if it is what they say it is, you wouldn't want anybody flying out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
This could be a good time to everybody say, hey, not only China, but the whole world, let's take a few weeks off. Of course, financially, that would ruin everything, and that's why we're not.
Well, there's money in the spread of things.
That's right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So be a really great time for everybody to let's take a month off. Let's shut ourselves down a little bit, and let's cool everything and see if this thing can die off or not. But of course, that's not going to happen. And there's a lot of conspiracies and different things that appear.
I hate that word. Don't use it. But
the word.
Political fact says fact-checking the hoaxes and conspiracies about coronavirus.
Let's not get hung up that words are bad or good. It's the intentions that make the difference.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. You can call it a conspiracy. You can call it the truth. It may not be that.
I think we should use but let me explain why I hate that word, because I know where it came from and how it's being used as a weapon for control. And whenever you attach the word, it's a conspiracy theory, it's immediately inferred to be untrue and then made up by kooks.
Yeah.
When in fact, the conspiracy theory term was made up by the CIA after Kennedy was killed to keep people from focusing on where the real
Well,
cause was.
actually, the word goes back into the Roman
No,
Empire.
I'm not talking
but-
about the word. I'm talking about the use of the word.
Oh, the use of it, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the use of the word as
Okay,
or
what
the
word
phrase.
would you like to use today?
I'm just going to say falsehoods,
Okay.
potential misunderstandings or potential difference of opinion, because no one has proven that anything is true or not true. Falsehoods about a new strain of the coronavirus spreading from China very widely from Facebook posts. Again, let's try and censor thinking. Let's help the world get a group think here. Let's start to tell you how to think. But these are the true things. And remember when Google said, we're going to make sure people get the right answer?
Well, I think if you're on Facebook, you're not going to get the right answer.
Whether it's
Simple as that.
Facebook or Google.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Many of the posts about coronavirus were flagged as part of Facebook's effort to combat false news and misinformation.
No, let's go right away what this
Okay.
starts with. Okay, this is a hippie. From
Oh, the cue.
Facebook posts, they take a patent out of context to conspiracy theories about Bill Gates. Well, we gotta protect that. Many of the claims were shared by Facebook and Twitter users. In other words, we got to real quick dispel the fact that Bill Gates may in any way be profiting, but we know for a fact that that the Rothschilds bet on both sides of the war. Okay, so they made money. So why do we not think that Bill Gates would not bet on both
But
sides
all
of the
these
virus?
people do that. If you look at...
I'm not saying that there's not other people,
no,
Nico,
but they're all doing it.
But you see
if
what
you look
this
at
is.
Standard Oil, you look at the Trumps, they all funded both sides of wars. You know, that's what rich people do because they want to keep the money.
Yeah.
They have to do this. Otherwise, they don't have the money.
Well, that's not true. They have plenty of money. They don't have to bet on both sides. He could be spending his money
He could be.
truly trying to resolve it, but in fact, I think they see the potential for the treatments being a big money boom, and he already has that idea that if we're lucky and vaccines work, we'll have a 15% population reduction. So he's already
You're talking about Gates?
Yeah, he's a eugenicist, and so, he's interested in seeing...
I don't know him, so I couldn't say.
Well, he's, based on what we
There
see.
are no vaccines available, let alone this particular one. The senior scholar at Hopkins University said. Well, I don't know what that has to do with it.
Again, they're saying misinformation about the coronavirus has particularly taken root in Facebook groups for anti-vaccine advocates and believers in QAnon. Okay, remember, they're trying to put people who actually have critical thinking skills into a group of people who are the far fringe. But this is a political mass media hit piece.
I think we shouldn't worry at this time in the United States because we have, as far as I know, 5 people infected, and they all came from China to the United States, so they were the first go around. Now, if they infect people here, then I think we got time to really worry about this and start really hunkering down a little bit.
Yeah,
so that's my personal opinion on this whole thing.
And if you look at this is in Gibber, so it's really hard to follow this. But the point is that be careful on the information you're reading because we're not real sure who all is going to benefit. But trust me, there will be people that benefit from tragedies such as this. And the best thing that you and I can do is keep ourselves and our family healthy.
When you look at the stock market, you're always thinking, well, how can I make sure I ensure that things are right? So I'm going to play both sides in a sense. And
Well,
that's a normal reaction, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
So, so this
But
is
I think it's different when mass casualties or
of course,
death is involved.
Yeah, if
You profiting
we
is a little
find
different.
somebody that is saying it'd be a great thing to kill like 500,000 people or 100,000 people or half the people in the world, those are pretty nutty people.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah, maybe we should go to an article that has some content here. Here's one from Market Watch. I'm going to switch over to you because there's nothing, this is in a gibberish. Scientists who stimulated the global impact of a coronavirus outbreak says the cat's already out of the bag and calls China's efforts to contain the disease unlikely to be effective. So that was that was a medical doctor that made that.
Oh, here's another one. The deepest sunspot minimum in more than a century is about to face the sun into particular hibernation, they say. So they're really talking about the grand solar minimum, which we've been talking about for weeks, and how this turns rather mild viruses into monsters.
And this is kind of what we can draw the picture for you all is when we think of medieval times.
Right.
We think
Grand
of the,
solar minimum.
We think of the Dark Ages. Well, the reason
Grand
they
solar
called it
minimum.
the Dark Ages was it was a grand solar minimum.
Right.
The sun was not as active.
So I think those things we need to pay attention to because these
Exactly.
are in history. And every grand solar minimum, every 400 years, we have these pandemics. We have lots of people being ill and a lot of people dying and lots of wars starting.
Right.
So,
And
something to
those in
think
the
about.
know this. And they're spreading the lie of global warming
I agree with
and
that.
taxing us while they're on that side. They know how they're going to profit from it. And they're telling us all to...
Yeah, and I've got something to say about that after the break, so I'll be
Okay.
right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
And welcome back.
All right, I want you to basically, in a nutshell, share what you and I have been telling people for nearly 10 years now on this show.
We've been talking about the grand solar minimum and the sun getting quiet, and now here we have all these
And colder.
articles
And grand
getting
solar
colder.
minimum coming.
And I think really what's happening is they're starting, here's one, the Earth is being pummeled by cosmic rays after the sun turns blank.
And this is the key thing you said on the break.
This is all these people are saying now all of a sudden we're in 200-year cycles, we're in 400-year cycles, it's going to change. And now we're stuck with this warm period, and what we're going to do is spray all this sky and everything like that, and then it's going to turn colder, and we're the ones who did it.
That's the bingo. The point I wanted
That's
for people
what I
who haven't
think.
listened to our show. I've been thinking the same thing. They're telling the masses that cows are
And
farting.
it's a tax break.
All right, let me finish. That cows are farting, and that we're responsible, and we're going to kill the planet, and that it's getting hot, and that then we're going to accept what they've already been doing, the geoengineering that's right above your head, and they've been spraying, and we will see a colder temperature, and they're going to say, thank God we took billions of tax dollars from you to spray you, because now we're the heroes, when in fact this is a natural sun phenomena.
Yeah.
So catch the hoax, guys. Catch the conspiracy theory. You know?
Yeah, there's lots of articles on here. I'm going to put them in the newsletter naturally, but the sun has been dimming. Of course, we haven't had the sunspots for ages. We've had the blank days. We've had high incidence of cosmic rays, and we know the spraying's going on. They've been announcing it in Sweden. They announced it in Germany. They announced it in Washington, that they're spraying for several different reasons, and they're going to save our lives because it's getting warmer and warmer. Well, it gets warmer in some places. It gets colder in lots of other places. Believe me, the cold is coming.
And so when people like Bill Gates says he thinks this coronavirus could kill 65 million people, that's a significant amount of people, as it spreads, he's simply being prophetic. He knows that the sun is going to sleep. He knows we're going to enter a period like the grand solar minimums, more like the medieval times, where what happened? Black Plague and things like that. I'm not trying to be a doomser.
Well,
I'm trying to say...
If you look at all these plagues and the locusts coming and the wars starting because people are going into different territories
attention,
because
folks.
the food goes
History-
away.
history
and
repeats
it's the food
itself.
that goes away, folks, so start stockpiling some food. Anyway, that's the show.
See you
Don't get
next-
the virus. We'll see
Yeah.
you next week.